So here we have a Silver King unit. At least I think that's what it is. Yes, Silver King. You can see he wasn't building up very much ice. He checked the thermostat. Thermostat was turned down enough. So I felt along the bottom here and it had a lot of heat built up. If you look right behind this, back in here, you can see there is a fan motor. And this fan motor is locked up. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the fan motor. Just a C-frame motor. You can actually get these little rebuild kits. And they work with units like this, so we'll show you how that's done here. So depending on your unit, the older ones have the motor on this side, so it's easy to replace. But evidently this one, they put it here, and you can see they're just using the bolts for the motor, and then it's just plugged on there. So we'll just unplug these and pull out this nut, and that will release the motor to us. So the motor kit we're using comes with a couple of different blade options and the wire nuts. We're gonna just pull this fan motor out of here. If we can. Oh, it's hot. So you can see this blade is stiff, very stiff. So that's definitely the problem. We will reuse this blade. We can see that it spins this way, pulling the air through the coil this way. So we'll have to make sure that rotation is correct before we put the motor in there. Because if it's not, you actually have to remove these two screws and pull the armature out of the motor and flip it 180 degrees and stick it out the back side of the motor. See, this one has a hole all the way through. So you can actually switch the rotation by switching the armature to point the other direction. So the old fan blade does not fit on the new shaft. They do send a couple of adapters, but we do not have the correct one to get to whatever size that is. So we're going to use this one. You just want to make sure that they're cutting the same way. So you can see these blades both cut this direction, and it will be fine to just use this one on the new motor. And we'll make sure that this rotation is correct. Oh good, that one's not tamper resistant. Which means we can shove this in there. So it's spinning the right way. So it's spinning this direction, which is cutting the air, pulling it backwards across the motor. So that's good to confirm. There's not a lot of space to get this in there. So we cut off the spade terminals on the original wiring, and we're just stripping them back. We'll connect them to the other leads. Having a little bit of difficulty getting this reattached back here. So it's secured back there. We're just securing the wire nuts. These wire nuts that they sent with are like really cheap looking. But I don't know, should be fine. Just gonna throw some tape over them because I don't like how cheap they feel. And then we'll secure them back here with the zip tie. So always make sure that the blade spins freely before you slide everything back in and put it back together. Yeah, we're pulling air real good, so that's a good sign. So I can feel some suction here, and the air is pushing back out on this side. Simeon's putting the cover back on, so it shouldn't have any problem cooling now at this point. But yeah, when they can't get rid of the heat down low, they just don't work good. Good job, Simeon. So that's a pretty common thing. I typically carry those in my van. Oh, don't look in the back of the van. So anyway, that's a pretty common part. I just carry one of those kits in my van all the time, and it ends up saving me a lot of return trips. So definitely something nice to keep on the van if you're in this sort of field. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.